And to break that all down for you, we're bringing in a Borussia Dortmund legend, Patrick Owomoyela, but we treat our guests here with a little bit of respect. So let's get to know Patrick before we introduce you to him. And here it is, getting to know Patrick Owomoyela. Of course, he's a Dortmund legend, but he started his career right back for Arminia Bielefeld, Werder Bremen, and Borussia Dortmund, as we mentioned. Of course, also played for the German national team. He made his debut in two Bundesliga with Arminia Bielefeld in 2003, after playing in the German lower leagues. He helped Werder Bremen finish in second place during the 05-06 Bundesliga and played in the Champions League from 05 to 08, and then came that majestic transfer to Borussia Dortmund in 08, winning two Bundesliga titles for those legendary teams under Jurgen Klopp, and of course made 11 caps for the German national team from 2004 to 2006. So now we welcome in Patrick Owomoyela here in studio at the Golazo Network. Thanks so much for joining us, my man.
Thanks for having me.
It's exciting times here in the U.S., obviously with the Club World Cup. Dortmund in a good position and now chasing a little bit of glory after this season. What was your take on Borussia Dortmund's season? Obviously, it was tough at the beginning with obviously the sacking of Nuri Sahin, but then Niko Kovac is able to come in and kind of right the ship and get them into the Champions League. A lot of people didn't think it would be possible from where they were. What are your thoughts on the season that they had and how they were able to turn it around?
I mean, it was a difficult season to begin with, of course, losing a couple of big names before the season, adding a new coach. That always leads to a little bit of, unknowing where the trajectory is heading. But I think the team tried their best. Nuri Sahin tried his best as well to be successful, but everything takes a little bit of time. But after that sack of Nuri and when Niko Kovac was brought on, mentality changed a little bit. And from there on, I mean, we had quite a good run and, finished fourth, which means we're qualified to play Champions League football next season once again. And of course, also, we're really close of maybe going a little further in the Champions League than being knocked out by Barcelona. But in the end, the finish of the season was a good one. It was a strong performance. I think it was 7 wins in the last 8 games. So that's what we try to build on.
Massive for them, obviously, going into this tournament now. I do think that they're set up in a good spot in Group F. But before we get into the tournament, you've spent some time now here in the United States. The tournament this summer, we have the Club World Cup. Next year, the FIFA World Cup. What have your impressions been of the fans here in the United States and how much the game has continued to grow here in North America?
It is growing, and every time I come back to the U.S., I see more and more soccer going on. More and more people are interested in soccer. They kind of acknowledge or remember our kind of branding, and when I always wear these colors, they say, "Oh, you're from Germany, right? That's a soccer club, right?" So the awareness is getting bigger, the sport is getting bigger. I mean, the MLS itself is growing and getting stronger. So overall, it's the right development, and Borussia Dortmund is happy to be part of that, maybe. And of course, with this tournament going on now and the upcoming World Cup in Mexico, Canada, and the US, will be a great thing to push this sport even further.
All right, let's get into Dortmund and their opportunity here at the Club World Cup. They're in Group F, a decent group for them to maybe make a little bit of a run here, starting in New Jersey, in the New York metro area. Being around this team, what's their mentality going into this tournament with an opportunity to chase some glory after what was a whirlwind season up and down?
First of all, it's a new competition, so nobody really knows how to approach this, but everybody is aware that it is a big opportunity to write some history here, being the first club world champion crowned ever. And of course, I mean, it's a big market, a big platform to play this sport in the US, to have a first game in New York at MetLife, as you said. So the team is quite aware of all that. And of course, having, as I mentioned earlier, won the last 7 or 7 out of the last 8 games, gives us some confidence to head in this tournament. You mentioned the group. I mean, we start off with a Brazilian team and then play a South African team and a Korean team after that. But we think we are strong enough to advance through this round and then see how far we can take ourselves in this tournament.
Yeah, that match against Fluminense, being South American myself, it is fun to see some of these matchups, right? Yeah. A legendary team from Brazil taking on a legendary team from Germany. It's just exciting for the game. us being here covering all sorts of football, including Borussia Dortmund and the Bundesliga, we know about Sergio Guirassy. We know about some of the great players that Borussia Dortmund have. What can fans that maybe aren't as familiar with Borussia Dortmund, what can they expect to see from this team in this tournament, as well as some of the star players that we'll be watching out for in the tournament?
So first of all, we bring the full squad, so everybody will be there. And of course, we try to play really attractive football, as always. You mentioned some names, but we also have 3 American players in the current squad, with Concacaf, with Mathis Albert, and of course with Gio Reyna. So fans can look forward to that. But Borussia Dortmund is always high energetic football. We try to play high-speed football, intensive football, and of course we want to play exciting football, score some goals. So we don't know too much about Ulsan maybe and Mamelodi from South Africa, but of course Fluminense, they bring their players and they're always fun to watch. Bring Thiago Silva, a very big name, household name, also in European football. So it's going to be interesting to see all of these games, and not just that one at MetLife, but especially of course because it's the first and it's the kickoff for us. Yeah, the American soccer and Dortmund, they kind of go hand in hand. Obviously Christian Pulisic really getting his big break at Dortmund. And becoming now an international superstar and the face of U.S. soccer. And it all started at Borussia Dortmund, and obviously with the 3 Americans now, it's kind of that path is continuing on. So you're in the States. I hear you're a big NBA fan. It's the NBA Finals right now. You have OKC and the Indiana Pacers. Have you been watching the NBA Finals? Are you rooting for any of the teams? I know Isaiah Hartenstein is on the team. He's a German-American. He was born in America, but he is a German-American. I actually covered him when he broke into the league with the Houston Rockets. I covered that team. Have you been able to watch the NBA Finals at all? A little bit, not all of the games, but I like that it's a close matchup, and of course Halliburton against the reigning, or the actual MVP at the moment. It's cool to watch Isaiah Hartenstein, as you mentioned, being German, as we say, he's German. I support a little bit more of the OKC squad, but NBA is always exciting to watch, and it is a new generation. I grew up with the 2000 era, but it's still fun to watch these players go at it. And as I said, it's a close one, 2-2. So I'm going to follow straight on and hope Isaiah is going to make it in the end. Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, OKC were the favorite coming in. I don't think a lot of people expected it to be 2-2. They have the MVP SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, leading that OKC side, so it should be fun. It's good. It's good to know that we got some NBA fans in the house too, right? You love to see it. Another thing I wanted to show you, one of our colleagues here, Mike Lahoud, a former professional soccer player as well, is representing at the soccer tournament, TST, just passed last weekend. He's playing in the tournament, played in the tournament, and representing Borussia Dortmund. They played with these kids in the tournament. As you can see here, a good team posing for a team picture here in Times Square. But so you could see that it's growing so much that even the brand of Borussia Dortmund is going way beyond just Germany and Europe. It is present here in the United States with players and fans alike, that it was cool to see them rocking these Borussia Dortmund kits on the pitch for TST. Yeah, it was a great event. And I mean, look at these faces. I mean, Seamus, a world famous wrestler. But your colleague, Mr. Lahoud, he wasn't the weakest link, I tell you that. He could play some ball. So it was a great opportunity for us as a brand, of course, to raise that awareness, playing a tournament on Times Square. I remember I was here for the first Times Square Cup like 3 years ago, and it was incredible for me to be part of this and play in front of all these lights, all these jumbotrons with the commercials on, and just celebrate that game of soccer. It was just great to be part of that, and we continue to do that. So I think it's October 11th. Once again, BVB will be here and do the same thing. So it's not just this tournament. We are here to come back always. We are here to stay connected and promote soccer, not just European soccer, but soccer at all in the U.S. Yeah, we call Mike Lahoud the super sub. Here at Golazo Network. So he got the super sub with Borussia Dortmund at the TST. Also, you know, when you got Borussia Dortmund watch parties, give me a call. I'll come by. We'll have a party, and I'll have my black and yellow on, and we're rooting for Dortmund. Good luck to Borussia Dortmund in this Club World Cup. I think it's going to be a fantastic tournament. And Dortmund, I'm saying it, I think they have a great chance to get out of that group and make some noise in the knockout stage. And obviously, Patrick is hoping for it here.